Hi, I'm Dave Epstein, and welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom. I'm here with my special guest, Richard Berry, and we're at Berry's Greenhouse in South Natick, Massachusetts. And Richard, you supply a lot of garden centers and fine gardeners and places like that, right? This is wholesale.
We are strictly a wholesale operation.
So today, Richard's agreed to talk about containers, and it's actually a very warm day. We're close to 80 degrees. It's hard to believe we're talking about holiday time, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all that stuff. But we're going to talk about designing containers a little bit and some of the things that you've got in containers. And folks, this is really an alternative to those branches people put in, right? They go out and they cut the branches, and then a couple of weeks later or a month later, they're dead.
That's very true. And although that's a very good look, and you can get unusual cut branches and evergreens to make containers look good, I think by using potted live material and accenting it with cuts and branches gives new alternatives.
So you've got a couple of containers here that are done, and these are actual live plants. They're in there. So you'd have to take care of these the same way, right? You'd have to water them, or do you have to water them? What about when it gets cold? How do you take care of something like this?
The key is to when you're watering, especially in the temperatures we're having right now, to maintain moisture on them as well as you would any plant. And right now we're finding we have to water the 4-inch or the 6-inch or 8-inch plants. We're watering every 3 to 4 to 5 days. Even if there's rain, you can't count on the rain soaking the soil properly. Because of the canopies on topiary or the fullness of the plants in the container to give it that lush look, you've really got to take the watering can to it. And equally as important as watering is to water all the way around. Don't water on one section of your planter. This is true on all planters throughout the year. You want to water all the way around so the root systems are getting moisture throughout the container.
So what are some of the plant material you've chosen here?
These are Chamaecyparis nanas, variegated. We have some Sedum angelina here, Gaultheria winterberry with the red berries, which just look great right through the winter. We also have some false holly, osmanthus.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's a variegated, and they're borderline to make it, but in a protected area they should do pretty well.
So Richard, these containers look really full, and you've got a lot of different things going on. Tell me about some of the tips you might give someone to either tell someone that's doing it for them or for themselves if they want to make this a project around the house.
Well, I think fullness is one of the keys, and fullness is created with different heights and different textures and different varieties of plants.
Richard, you've got some awesome plant material here. I mean, we've got so much. Would you mind showing us around a little bit?
I'd be happy to.
So what are these? They look like little Christmas trees.
They are little Christmas trees, and they work very well in window boxes, in containers, container gardening. I think, as we mentioned earlier, there's important to have different heights and colors within the containers. And in this particular case, you've got some height, and this particular variety has white tips. I have a similar variety, which we'll show you shortly, which is all green.
Okay.
And to go with that, I particularly like the blues. And we have Cypress Boulevard and Cypress Blue Star. And these just hold up incredibly well and really make nice accents to any container and any planting in the ground thereafter.
So what else we got? Some really cool stuff.
Probably have here today probably 6 or 7 different types of cypress.
Okay.
And we have them in different sizes. You can see some very small ones here.
Yeah, I love these little ones.
Which are really a 2-inch plant. Huh. And these, the majority of these that we'll sell for the winter are for gardens interior that people will use to sit on their dining room table or somewhere in the house. Yes, and these are called Chamaecyparis elwoodii, and that's a 4-inch, and these are just fabulous. It's one of our best sellers and one that people have luck with indoor and outdoor throughout the season. Here's one of our favorites and our top seller for the fall is Gaultheria and Winterberry. Has beautiful white flowers which then turn into the red berries, and those will hold right through.
So Richard, thank you very much for the great tour and the great tips. And the point here, folks, is that remember how we started? You know, a lot of you will put cut branches in, and that's an okay look, but here's a way to get not only one season, which is the fall and winter season, but you can also take the plants out in the spring and plant them in the landscape. So really a different approach to dealing with containers. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.